All right, let's transition then to the team that everyone cares about here and how things went in the first round. We got Charlie Stramel, Minnesota boy, unfortunately playing for the Badgers, but is what it is. And I mean, Z, do you want to speak out against some of the slander and some of the people that were saying not so nice things about Mr. Charlie Stramel?
Yeah, and I mean, I think like the difference in the reaction to the Stramel pick, it wasn't like they were. I feel like the reaction wasn't directed at him, more so at like Judd and Bill. I mean, you saw my reaction on the live stream. I mean, like there were definitely players there that I would have taken before Stramel, but what have we been saying about like who do you think like who they're going to be targeting in the 2023 draft class? They're probably going to be looking to address areas in their prospect pool that are lacking, which is big centers with size, physicality that aren't necessarily maybe like skill isn't there, or like the offensive upside isn't necessarily like the main like pull there, but
sure.
Stramel had the year that he had, which was horrible, just like Wisconsin. Like he ultimately had like his season was a reflection of the University of Wisconsin, and it was not good. But this time last year, consensus top 15 pick because he has the size. He also uses his size, by the way, and he's smart about using his size. When he does like he has that quick wick where he will do like stupid like kill somebody, put them through the glass. But there is a little bit of upside there. Like he has good hands. He's got good sense around the net. I mean, you're not nudging him anywhere, but he, in totality, just with Stramel and the rest of the draft class, like they addressed the areas of need in their prospect pool. And when I first started doing this specific like show, this podcast, one of the first things I said about the Wild prospect pool is like, yeah, there are like the super high end guys, but it's a prospect pool that's so good because it's like diverse, where you've got different kinds of prospects in every area, where you've got guys like Adam Beckman, who is his like a 40 goal scoring winger potential. You've got Marco Rossi, who's an elite number one center potential, two-way game. There's like guys like that up and down, like that prospect pool. The one thing that you could say they're missing is like, the big centers who play like a more conservative, not necessarily as flashy game. Again, I'm not saying that the way that they ended up picking the guys that they took are guys that I would have taken there, but in totality, did the prospect pool get better? Oh yeah, like it for sure did. Like they did the thing that like everyone says you're not supposed to do, and like what need kind of.
That was gonna be my big thing, right? Because I think that's what threw a lot of people off. I mean, me personally, again, I was already so emotionally unstable from the Pittsburgh kerfuffle, and I was just very shocked to see Stramel pop up. Again, you had talked about him several times leading up to the draft, and like a player that I'm not at all bothered that the Wild picked up. But it felt like they've always preached like, hey, we only take need if there's like a tie, right?
Mm-hmm,
and this felt like they drafted need rather than best player available. And I think that's what, on top of people thinking that the Wild had some birthright to Oliver Moore, like all of that kind of came together into just an absolute cluster. So I don't know. But again, end of the day, I probably seemed like I was pissed off. I did come around at the end in our stream and say, like, hey, I am not mad about this pick. I'm just surprised.
Yeah, and again, so like that's where I ultimately probably landed. And it's funny again because we were just talking about like, hey, for months now we were like, who they're going to target, like what mold of player, and we did say the big center. But I'm pretty sure one of the very first shows that we started doing that, I was like, I think he'll be gone by then, but I would imagine that if somehow Strabel was there at 21, that's a guy that they would probably be targeting. And again, he just like the year it was what it was. That's a great Sean Cosgrove coming in again. Not wrong. But we'll see. I mean, so this is going to be a huge season, obviously, not just for Strail, but anyone at the University of Wisconsin. They've got a couple of solid prospects coming in too. Like Will Whitelaw is going to be there. Another Columbus guy. There you go. They had themselves a nice day too. Yeah, Hastings. We'll see. Well, if you don't have your AARP card, then you might not play. So, we'll find out. But this will obviously be a huge year for like the program. But like a guy like Stramel, who, had all the, upside in the world coming in, and then the season was what it was. So, were there other players that I would and still would have taken, like right now sitting in front of you? I would have, yeah, I still would have taken a kid like, Quentin Musty, who, if he wasn't like a winger, I would imagine that's a guy that's checking every box that the Wild were looking for. I mean,
who did he get paired with?
What's that?
Who did he get paired with?
Who did he get paired with?
Up, wasn't it?
What?
That he went to San Jose, right?
Yeah.
Dude, imagine him and Will Smith long term. Hello.
Yeah. Oh yeah. How are you?
Ooh, that's
Keep the change. Thank you. Yeah. They kind of struck gold with like a couple. Again, like I would have gone Mitchkov at 4, but a couple of guys just like fell into their lap, like a Luca Cagnoni. I think they got like the 4th, 5th round.
That's right.
A couple of guys just fell into their lap. Yeah. Exactly. But. And even like, so John just said draft looked better with the Heidt pickup sleeper. Yeah. Like, and just transitioning, just like the draft class as a whole, like with the first 3 picks that they had, if you just told me that they got Heidt at 21, Stramel at, was it 53?
54, I think.
53, 54, whatever it was. And then Kumpulainen at 64. I'd be like, yeah, that's, yep. Like, it would have been no complaints. Like, I'd be like, yeah, that's great. So again, it's just like the fact that it went the order it did, and again, like, so, and the big knock against it's going to be the guys that they opted to take Stramel over. But listen, the prospect pool got better as a whole. They addressed a lot of areas. And the guys they picked up, I think there's still legit upside in the guys that they did take that you'd probably call a reach right now. So
I think it is important to note, though, for those that are really pissed off about not getting Oliver Moore, they were able to pick up 2 other MNCAA players. We've got younger brother, not son, Michael Russo, not son, but younger brother of Neil Pionk and Aaron Pionk. And, of course, we got Edina boy Jimmy Clark, who will be going to the Gophers someday.
At some point. Yeah, I mean, which one do you want to start? We can start with Pionk. I mean, this is a kid that was literally a forward 2 years ago.
Like a year and a half ago.
Yeah, they're like, let's try this kid on D. Let's just
you know what? I heard his brother play defense once.
He was real fucking good. He was really fucking good. That's how that went. And hey, like I just said before, the D partner was Sam Rinzel in Waterloo. And I mean, he had himself a fucking great year. And like, again, he skates really well. He's defensively solid, which again, like that's like obviously if you're going from forward defense, probably the hardest part is going to be the defending piece, but defends great. I mean, like forces guys wide. The pivot, he shadows. He doesn't really get beat easily around. He's capable of being physical too. He's going to have to I think he's 6'2", like 170 pounds. So obviously he's going to have to bulk up there a little bit, but I like the foundation he's got there. And again, like, a lot of those picks, especially late on, when you're finding guys who have those physical tools and the skill, like you can build on that, right? And I think he's smart enough too that's a guy with legit upside too. So I didn't hate that pick at all. And it's just funny the fact that not son of Neil, and the fact that his D part of this year was Sam Rinzel was pretty funny. But definitely an interesting pick. But listen, Jimmy Clark, I fucking love that pick, dude. Like, he is unbelievable. And I think he is an overager, isn't he? I think he was eligible last season. Maybe he wasn't.
That would be weird if he played high school this year, but possible. He could just be a later birthday.
Maybe. I can't remember. But the passing, the playmaking, dude, like this kid is good. So like the fact they got him, what was that? Was like 200 something? The
7th round.
213. Yeah. Anytime you can pick up like just a unbelievable passer, great playmaker, he put up good numbers, obviously. Tools there again. I love that pick up in the 7th round. So again, in totality, like they really did bolster the prospect pool. Even if you don't necessarily agree with at least like the order the picks went in, right? So but I get like sneaky the Jimmy Clark pickup, that pick was like sneaky, might be my favorite one. Like just the bet on that at 213. But yeah, no, there you go. MNCAA guys, you're gonna love it. but Jimmy Clark's real fucking good, man. I love that pick.
We love it. And this is probably worth diving into a little bit more too, Z, because I do feel like a lot of the fans were just like, who the fuck is this?
Yeah, so Rasmus Kumpulainen, again, would have felt like a better choice at 64, but again, you end up with Riley Heidt at 64, not going to get played. This is like, for all these guys, like Jimmy Clark, sneaky, my favorite pick, but like the one that I'm most interested in, I think is most intriguing, is Rasmus Kumpulainen, where this dude is massive. He's another. So again, there you go. They were looking for the part of the prospect pool that maybe they were lacking in, but so I maybe am a little bit higher on his offensive upside than a lot of people, which probably means I'm wrong, but he's got, like, I think he's what, 6'4", 6'5", but already plays a real solid two-way game. So again, he's got a lot of like the NHL habits at the two-way game, where like in zone defending, even the fact that he's not like the fast, it's not like he's a bad skater. It's like he's just not fast. But still, like, he's able to use his size and like keep guys to the outside, doesn't get beat. He kills penalties, but for a guy as big as he is, he's got some insane skill, the hands, like he makes plays in the offensive zone. And like, again, it's like, I don't know how he does it, because he's just like not moving fast, but he does change directions pretty well, like on his pivot there. And again, like he's got the size, but actually just like knows how to use it, where he can create space for himself, and he's patient enough. He can create passing lanes. He's got a decent enough shot too. And I think he's just an incredibly smart hockey player. So again, like I was just saying, you bet on guys who have those. Number one, he has the brain, but he's also got the physical tools and the skill that I think you can absolutely build on. And I mean, he's playing in Finland, which is a really good, like, just place to develop, where they're pretty like aggressive on like the intangibles. So that's probably why he's got the advanced defensive game that he already has. But a really intriguing prospect to keep track of over the next year or two. I think he just got drafted to Oshawa in the CHL, so I think he's going to be coming over next year, I want to say. So he's going to get, adapted to the North American game too. But just a really like interesting choice, and it doesn't surprise me that was a guy that they kind of looked at and targeted, just because again, like, they were clearly going after guys with size, but also he's very smart, plays a two-way game at advanced level already. So was it a reach at 53? Probably a little bit, but again, you bet on those tools and you bet on the brain. So I am actually a little bit higher on the upside than a lot of people are, probably, in terms of like the offense, but like, you watch him and you're just like, oh, he'll be in the NHL. And those are guys that you're hoping that you get there from like rounds 2 on. So really interesting pick, and the guy that I'm most intrigued to like keep tabs on as the years go here, as he makes his way over. So just I kind of loved it, just like that bet. So interesting choice. And again, one of the guys that I'll be watching closer than a lot of other guys.
For sure. And we got Sean Cosgrove fact-checking you as always. He was not an overager, apparently. Good old Jimmy Clark.
Just one of the oldest guys.
Yeah, kind of like Matthews.
Yeah, same player. How do you do? What was the GPA?
I don't think hockey players have GPAs. That's not how that works.
Yeah, that's true.
Good question here, though. I don't even know if you have a real answer to this, but Z, how many different hockey leagues do you watch?
The other ones I don't like really watch closer, like the fucking like the Slovakian league's kind of hard to really like get a good stream on, but obviously the one I watch the most at this point, the J20 and SHL in Sweden. It's pretty easy to get a hold of the streams for the Finnish leagues. Obviously all the CHL, NHL, AHL. And then Hockey TV has the Czech League. It has the BCHL. It has the USHL. I don't know, like 10. I think maybe more.
Plus
NCAA, yeah, maybe
KHL,
more.
plus MHL.
Okay, yeah, maybe like 15 to 20. I don't really know.
All
of them.
We can keep on going.
Everything outside of like Slovakia.
Minnesota Pee Wee hockey. It's all.
Yeah.
It's all
Yeah, it's all good stuff, dude.
Z, do you watch the LNAH? And if so, why is it the best league on the planet?
That's the most psychotic hockey league on the fucking planet, dude. I cannot believe that's like guys sign up to go play in that. Like, no, I am like, I'll go to a game for sure, but like, I feel like even being in the stands, I'm gonna wear like Kevlar. I wear body armor just going to those games. Like, they're fucking insane. Like, those dudes are all just absolutely fucking mute. Just absolute mutants. And like, yeah, we just like throw the skates on. We can't really tie them, but like, we don't need them though. We don't really move outside of like bench to the face-off dot to the box. So whatever. Imagine being like a playmaker in the LNH, where you're trying to fucking make plays and score goals. And you're just getting fucking head taken off by like a 50-year-old fucking ex-NHL enforcer. Oh shit, dude! The people
the
that
correct answer is yes. That is basically Isha's burner that said that.
Yeah,
so.
that was Isha. I think that account was created 48 minutes ago, just for this.
No, it's been created for a little bit, but it's one that he has control of for a client. So yes, that's absolutely why he did that.
Okay, it actually was.
Yep, it was 100% Isha. That should not surprise anyone.
UFC on ice.
All right, before we shift back into all of prawn